Hi and welcome back to my channel. So as I have done at the start of every single video, I apologise for the quality. I'm filming on my phone. If you've watched all my videos, you understand that I can't afford a camera at the moment, but as soon as I can, then I'll be straight getting a camera, because I understand the quality is really annoying, but I hope you enjoy my content, the things that I've decided to post on YouTube about. So as you can tell from the title, today's video is going to be about mental health. So yes, the title is true. I did want to leave my child. I did want to walk away from being a mother. I did want to not have a child. But that's because when my son was 6 weeks old, I got diagnosed with postpartum depression. Now, if anyone would have said postpartum depression to me before I had my son, I would have thought it's like you see on TV. You give birth to your son or your daughter, you look at your child and you think, I don't want that child, I don't love that child. But that was not what it was like for me. It was totally different for me. Instead of going into more detail, I'll start from the beginning. So back in May of this year, I gave birth to my little boy. He's now 7 months old. So yeah, I gave birth to my little boy. And I think everything was fine. Everything was fine and dandy. I didn't feel bad. I felt excited. I felt like over the moon because my son was finally here. I was enjoying being a mother, I'd say, for that first week, and then my thoughts went kind of downhill. I started feeling like I couldn't do what a mother had to do. I didn't feel like a mother. I felt like my son's needs, I wasn't meeting them needs. I wasn't being the mother that he needed, and that he would be better off without me. But I assumed, oh, this is baby blues, you've rush of hormones, this must be normal. So what I did is I went onto the internet, and the one place that I spend most of my time on is YouTube, and I searched up some videos and I found hardly anything. And none of the videos, I know this is their experience who posted the videos, but none of the videos related to me. So I assumed, oh no, it must just be the baby blues. So I carried on, and when my son was about 2 weeks old, I was starting saying to my partner, I was crying a lot. During the night, 4 AM, I'd sit outside and cry, because I was so ashamed to sit and show my emotions to everyone else, which, please, no one be ashamed of your emotions, because it's not a bad thing at all. But I was so ashamed that I sat outside and I cried outside on my own. I'd literally cry for hours. People would come round to see my son, and I'd be in another room. I wouldn't want to be associated with it. They'd ask me questions about my son, and I just wouldn't answer. I wouldn't engage. I just didn't want to talk about him. And I didn't see that as an issue, but it is. That, that's not a not. Well, it is a normal way to think, because everybody, has their own, I don't know how to explain it. Everybody has their own thoughts. So if you're thinking like that, I'm not saying you're not normal. What I'm saying is you may need help if you're thinking like that. So I just carried on keeping my whole feelings to myself. And when he was about 3 or 4 weeks old, I started getting intrusive thoughts. So what would happen is I'd think that my son is going to die. So what I'd have to do is I'd have rituals. I'd do 3 or 4 different things at night time, like cleaning up. But it was like a routine. So like cleaning up, then I'd check his breathing, and then I'd check he's tucked in correctly, and then I'd lie in bed, and then I'd get out of bed and then do all them 4 again. And that was kind of repetitive behaviour, because my brain was telling me he's gonna die, he's gonna die, he's gonna get poorly if you don't clean up, he's gonna stop breathing if you don't check on him, he's gonna get smothered by the blankets, everything that parents worry about, which is normal to worry about them things, but my mum was on overdrive about it. It was constant, he's gonna die, he's gonna get hurt. And then it got to a point where I wouldn't trust anybody else with my son. I wouldn't leave the house with him, because I was thinking, and these are intrusive thoughts that are coming into my brain, I was thinking, he's gonna die, for example, the best example I can give of it is, one day my mum said, I'll take him for an hour just to do whatever she was doing that day, and you stay at home, you can catch up on your housework, you can just chill out, watch a film, anything. So I jumped at the chance, because obviously being a parent and having, you know, not a lot of time to yourself, like, that's something that you're glad for. So I was like, yeah, fine, you take him. And then the minute he left, I was having thoughts of them having a car crash. Then he would get poorly, he would randomly choke on something, he would choke on his own sick, all these intrusive thoughts. So I immediately rang my mum within half an hour. I was like, bring him home, bring him home, bring him home now. And I wouldn't take him anywhere, I wouldn't let nobody take him out of my sight, and it was quite obsessive. And then when he was about 6 months old, and when he was about 6 weeks old, out of nowhere, I don't know what caused it, I went into the living room, I kissed my son on the forehead, I got my stuff together, and I walked out the door. I just walked out the door. And that's not because I didn't love my son, like the typical thoughts that people have about postnatal depression. This is because I wanted to protect him from myself, because I was thinking I wasn't going to harm him, but I was thinking I wasn't a good enough mother. I wasn't going to give him the things he needs, and obviously for him to have a good laugh, I would need to be a better me, and I can't do that. I was adamant that I couldn't do that, so I walked out. And my partner came and found me and brought me back home, and I was in a right state. I was so worked up, I was in tears, I couldn't speak, I was literally shaking, like full on anxiety attack. And he brought me home, and he sat me down, and he just cuddled me, and he told me, this is not okay, something is not right. So he said, please, please, please go to the doctors. And that is the one thing that I was so ashamed about, because I thought, they're going to take my son away, they're going to take him from me, they're going to think I'm an unfit mother. So that really put me off saying anything to the doctors. So a few days later, I had my son's 6-week checkup, and the doctor asked me, was I okay? And obviously all these things flying in my head, and like, if you say something, they're going to take him from you, do not talk, do not tell him. And I said, yeah, I'm fine. And she must have just been able to see something in my face, because she was like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah. And then she said to me, this is one thing what she said to me, what really made it click in my mind, and what I'd been suffering prior to feeling like leaving my son alone. She said, does it feel like a shift, like you're at work, like you should clock off? So when your partner comes home, you'll just clock off, and then don't want to be a mother, don't want to have duties. And she just randomly came out with that, and I broke down. I told her everything. I told her exactly the intrusive thoughts, the crying, the wanting to walk out of his life, because that was the main one for me, was wanting to walk out of his life, because I think that was my lowest point in it all. And she literally said, from everything that I told her, from wanting to protect him, she said, I know you love him, and I know you would never hurt him. She said, but this is a classic, case of postnatal depression. You need some medication, you need counselling, you need help. And I was so glad that I got that help. I was so glad that I took that step to go and speak to the doctor, because like, no, he's 7 months old and I'm not better. There's been a few times where my tablets have had to be increased because I kind of fell back into the intrusive thoughts coming back, and it was to the point where I couldn't sleep because I'd actually be dreaming about my son dying, and no mother should have to do that. No mother should have to go through that when you're thinking about your own child dying. But I feel like I'm in a better place now, and if it wasn't for me seeking that help from the doctor, then I don't think I would have been where I am today. I definitely think I probably may have not been alive, and that's because my mind was so on overdrive. I was constantly trying to like defy odds and avoid things from happening, and I wasn't suicidal, but you know, what if it got worse? That's like my concern now. Like, looking back at it, my son will permanently be without a mother because I might have taken my own life. Now, this video is probably a bit jumbled up because it's really hard to explain. When you suffer with mental health, it's like hard to put it into sentences exactly what you're feeling, and I just wanted to make this video because you do not see enough of it online, and I don't know if that's because there's still a stigma around mental health. I don't know if that's because people are scared of talking about what they are feeling, but I don't want no one else to feel like this. The way I have felt for the past, since my son was born, the way I have felt, I want nobody else to feel like this, because it is horrible. It's not nice, and especially if you've got no support and no one you can turn to, it's really, really horrible. And I just wanted to post this video out there, so if there was someone like me nearly 7 months ago, googling, you know, YouTubing postnatal depression and finding not a lot, that helps. If this one video, if someone thinks, oh, I'm getting thoughts like that, I'm thinking like that about my son or my daughter, or I'm planning on leaving my son or daughter, does this mean I possibly got postnatal depression? And if that takes them to take the jump into getting diagnosed, or even if it's another issue, if that is them pushing for a diagnosis or getting help, then I'm glad I've done this video, because that's what I want to do. Is I want to help people, because like I've said, I don't want people to feel the way I did, because now just getting better, looking back on it, it was really bad, really, really bad. And if it wasn't for the doctors and the support of my partner, I definitely wouldn't have got through it. And I've suffered with some really dark times in my life, but this postnatal depression was one of the hardest battles I've ever done, and I'm still battling now. I'm not 100%, and I don't know when I will be 100% or if I will be 100%. But I suppose the one message that I want to send from this video is that it's, you know, male or female, no matter if it's OCD, postnatal depression, anxiety, psychosis, you know, all these different medical conditions and diagnoses, no matter what you're suffering with, it's okay not to be okay. Or even if you don't suffer with any of these mental illnesses, even if you're having one down day and you need a good cry, you know what, it's okay not to be okay. And please do not be afraid to show them emotions to the people that love you, because if they love you and if they care for you, they will do anything for you. And I found that with my partner. I thought, I don't want to burden him with everything that I'm going through, but the care and the love and the support he showed me was unreal. He really picked me up from being low. He gave me that push. So I'd say family and friends is a number one support, is a number one thing to have. Reach out to them, and if you can't reach out to them, then online, use the online services that are available. I myself, I run a Facebook, along with me myself on Facebook, I'm an admin. Me myself on Facebook. My friend on Facebook actually runs a mental health group, and we've got nearly 5,000 people in there, and everybody is like a little community. A lot of people don't have that family and friends, so they come on there to talk about how they're feeling, and it could be something as simple as, I've lost my car keys and I think I'm having a bad day, or something as big as, I really don't think I can live anymore, and they get all the support they need. No matter what, we direct them to professional help, we direct them to, you know, things in their areas that they can do. We support people in so many ways, and we're not professional. Us in the admins are not professional. We are volunteers. We do it in our spare time, and we try our absolute best to help people. I will link that group in the description if anybody wants to join that group, because I promise you it's such a lovely group, and it has made me feel better. It has supported me, it has helped me, and even helping other people is not, it's not solve my problems, but it's give my mind something else to focus on when I'm alone. So I'm helping other people, and that means I'm not thinking about what my mind's doing, so it's helping me deal with my issues all round. And I think a lot of people could benefit from a network like that, especially when they haven't got no family and friends. And the other thing that I strongly advise, if you have any symptoms of any sort of medical condition or mental health condition or anything along those lines, or you think there might be a problem, you think you're not acting yourself, you're not feeling yourself, and definitely if you're feeling suicidal or if you're feeling you can't live no longer, please seek a doctor's help. If you ring a doctor's office and tell them it's a mental health issue, they will see you immediately. They make it their priority now. They try, because it's been so bad in past history, the way that people have been treated around mental health. They want to rectify that. They want less people to be, you know, feeling alone. They want to help people more now, which I still think's a bit disgraceful, because, you know, help should have always been available for people feeling like this, but the help's there now, so use it, you know, make the most of that help. So that was a lot of me rambling on and telling you a little bit about my story. There is a lot more to my mental health story, but I will go through that deeper, but I would have to do separate videos because they may take me a while. But I really hope that this video helps at least one person out there, and if it helps one person, that'll make me proud. So yeah, I'll link the description to the Facebook group down below. So if anybody wants to join, anyone's welcome. You can join that Facebook group. I'll also link any contact numbers to people who can help you if you are feeling low. So people like Samaritans. I can't think of the name of the company, but there is one what is dedicated to men as well. So I'll get everything linked down below where you can talk to them online, you can talk to them over the phone. So I'll link all them details down below. Please subscribe. You know, it means so much to me. Or even just thumbs up the video if you don't want to subscribe, because these types of videos really mean a lot to me, because it's my experience. It's something I've been through, and I can really resonate with anybody else who has been suffering with this. Now best go, and I shall see you on my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.